we went back in time for a minute.
Start.
All right. Got it. Got it. Okay, cool. All right. I think we're ready. Are you all ready? Are you ready?
We're ready. Let's do
Andy, are
it.
you ready?
Yeah.
Cass?
I'm ready.
Y'all are ready to be out of the house, that's for sure. I don't know about you, but I was going stir crazy yesterday, so. Oh, hold on, who works more from home on a day like that than you would in the office?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, good stuff.
It was a long day yesterday. I was ready to get back here where I could be distracted.
That's why I didn't do well during COVID. I realized I sat in the same chair yesterday from 9 a.m. till 7 p.m. And I was like, oh, what time is it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, ate my lunch there and everything, so.
Wow.
We're hard workers, I don't know about you guys.
I don't know if it's hardworking, it's just a lot of stuff. Okay, well, good morning. Okay, meet someone that you don't know or say hi to two people. If you're on chat, send them a direct message. And go.
No.
That's all you were a teacher.
I was, yeah.
Flaring teacher at one point.
1, 2, 3, eyes on me.
Okay. Well, good morning, everybody. You get the pleasure of having Shanna and I co-host again. It's like my, well, let's do this all the time.
Yeah, so keeps going away. Keeps going away.
Okay, so let's get started with our vendor guide. So new year and we are in vendor renewal and we have a nice little update after we introduce all of our vendors. So let's start on this side of the room and we'll go through. Derek, let's start with you.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Derek Cheney, the home loan expert with Mid-Missouri Bank, conveniently located right across the parking lot. So if you guys have any lending questions or need anything on the lending side, I'd love to help you out.
Christina.
Hi, I'm Christina Ferrante. I'm with 417 Home Loans. I'm your lending lady for life. I'd love to talk to you guys about any zero down payment programs that you want because we've got 5. So,
Jess.
Good morning, Jess Bowman, Bowman Insurance Group. We are here to help you guys and your clients with any and all insurance needs. Insurance is crazy right now and it's kind of tough. So if we can help you, we are happy to, and we just appreciate you guys.
Oh, Cindy. Yep.
Cindy with Great American Title. So you probably learned your KW agent said, company cancels, you replace it, right? So forgot my water, forgot to eat breakfast, the meeting's already canceled. I'm heading over to Neighbors Mill right after this meeting. Anyone that wants to come, have a cup of coffee, have some food, help me replace an appointment. Thank you.
Alright.
Love that.
Nicole, anyone online that we need to mention? No? Okay, great. So because we are in our new renewal year for vendors, we are having a vendor expo. Denise, would you like to share what the vendor expo is all about?
sure. So, can I just stand here?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're good.
So, you know, one of the things that Keller Williams is all about is win-win or no deal, right? And if you know the Y4C23s, you know that that's true. And I think some of the vendors that maybe we've had in the past or ones that have thought about being a part of our vendor program don't really understand the full benefit that there is for their business as well as for us and having them be a part. So the idea behind this, I'm the chair for the Strategic Partnerships Committee. It's our first year to ever have that committee here at Keller Williams. And this is going to be kind of our kickoff. So any vendors that you know or who've ever said to you, hey, how could I be a part of something at Keller Williams, or invite them to come to this. And we're gonna explain to them our program, what it looks like, give them a little inspiration, kind of how Keller Williams does for us. Give that back to them and make it a fun event for them, and hopefully get some valuable vendor partners for you and become a valuable resource for them.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Great, so that's gonna be February 1st, 5:30 to 6:30.
Here at the Market Center down in the training center. So over the last couple of years, we have changed our vendor program to where we were more, we reduced the amount of vendors we had. Now it's very much available and open, and we have different package or different levels that vendors can be a part of. Every vendor has to submit insurance, letters of recommendation, and references as well. So it's not just someone comes up and says, hey, we want to be a part of your vendor program. We're saying, great. We vet them to ensure that they are going to be good partners for you as you want in your business when you're referring them to your clients. So we're super excited about this vendor.
Oh, and our
Yes.
committee is gonna meet this Thursday. If you're interested in being a part of that committee, if you're a new agent, it'd be a great opportunity for you. It's gonna be at 10 o'clock Thursday.
Can vendors also be a part of your committee?
Never thought about that, but possibly.
Maybe. If you want to show up, why not? We won't say no. And we'll see how it goes. Yeah.
Are we to come to this too, or just vendors to this?
You can come if you would like, yeah.
We want
If you want to come and network with the vendors that are part of it, and then Denise made the post on her Facebook page as well. If you want to take the graphic and share it onto your social media, your business page, to invite any vendors that you may know in your network to come and be a part of it, the more, the merrier. We would love to meet more people.
Absolutely, that's such a great idea, I love it.
I love it. Okay, on to the next. Onward, Haley Price, what do you have for us?
Everyone, Haley with Onward. Just your weekly reminder, everything we do transaction coordination, marketing management, sign running, closing gift baskets. And your Tuesday tip from a TC is to submit your documents into Command when you get them. Even if you don't have all of them, submit them, let them start the compliance, give you time to make corrections if needed before closing. So that way, whenever you finally get your closing check and docs, you're good to go. Everything's approved. All you have to do is submit those and send it off.
Great point, Haley. That's a lot of the time, when we switched over to Command, a lot of people didn't know that they could submit documents as much as possible for compliance review. So my tip is always just, if you have one document, submit it for compliance review, let it come back. That's okay. You may get more notifications, but you don't have to wait till you get your whole under contract file in and available to submit. So then you're kind of more proactive on those updates. Thanks, Sales.
Good to know.
What is our mission, Shan?
Mission to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving.
I just did to you what Mike does to me every.
Yeah, no,
He
and
just
I'm like,
says, take it away.
take it away, yeah, and there's something big on that whole legacies thing, right? Dig deep into it, it's who are you showing up for the people in your life, and what are they gonna remember you by, right? It's not always what did you leave them, but what did you leave them with, right? So, yeah.
Okay, so our mission moment this week, which we don't have the stuff is scored, but so last week's winner was Adelie Schmidt, and who is she recognizing this week?
So Adelie chose a team of individuals. She said that they, ever since she had started her journey here at KW, they continually check on her, share laughs with her, made experiences with her, and it's so inclusive. They have cheered me on as a young agent and have made me feel respected and appreciated regardless of my experience. So Steve Cox team.
Oh. I just have to note, this is the first time I've ever hosted a meeting where I'm taller. And I absolutely. I'm wearing heels, I understand that. However, we both had fair opportunity when we got dressed today.
I didn't want to tower.
See, you know, this is amazing. First time.
A side note is I don't often get to tower over people being like 5'1"1/4.
I'm shorter than that, so.
So this feels good all the time, and this, I don't know.
When people ask me like, how tall is someone? I'm like, I don't really know. I always am looking up,
They're
so I
all
have
tall.
no idea in terms of height.
5'5" and up, you're all tall.
I did get announced one time as 5'3" at a basketball game in high school, and I thought I was living large, so watch out. Okay, TBD, well, we already announced it. Broker moment, Jim Bolin, what do you have for us?
Quickly.
Yeah, come on up.
I'll stay right here.
The, last week we talked about the as-is rider. Wes Litton had brought it up. He said, if the as-is rider is used with no right to termination, does insurance still play? Yes, it does. So if you're getting if you have financing in the contract, even though you're using an as-is rider, insurance will still be the end game there for the lender.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So if
There's
the
a lot of
property's
questions about that.
uninsurable is what you're meaning, right?
Yeah, it has to be insurable. It doesn't look like that the way the contract reads, because if you look, as is rider eliminates paragraph 7, which is where the insurance is, lender doesn't care. Who gets to dictate everything? The lender, yeah. So the lender gets the last say, and if he says it's not insurable, or he finds out it's not insurable from one of our vendors, then he could just say, no, I'm not loaning the money, and so the contract can be terminated legally, and the earnest money returned per paragraph 8. Paragraph 8 says
We're on the
what?
edge of our seat.
You can't get it unless you have a mutual release signed by both parties.
Right,
And
right.
if you don't get it signed, then it stays at the title company for up to 365 days and goes to the state treasurer's office for eternity.
Surely by the end of December 31st this year, we can answer those questions quicker.
That's right. Any other questions on the new contract? Really, that was, the major changes were insurance, and then there was that question about that, so. No, good.
Thank you for giving us more information
Absolutely
around that.
wonderful.
Absolutely.
Is Don Klepper online? Nicole, Don, do you have anything above? No?
No, no.
No, you never know.
Voices from the sky.
Yeah, voices from the sky. TCPA,
Don't call people that don't want you to call them. Check the do not call list.
or South Pole Elves.
They're, oh, yeah, they're not happy. The same people that are at the Starbucks.
It was a morning for Shan.
Not nice.
Okay, so how's the market? Last week, we had 25 homes that went pending in 1 day or less. This last week, we had 16. And as we look at SOMO, GSBR, East counties and North counties, you can see some changes. New contracts definitely went down over SOMO. But for the most part, East counties is the only one that increased in terms of new contracts. So as we go into looking at last year as well, we had 241 contracts at this time compared to 187 in SOMO. However, 253 new listings last year, 164 as we look at that. Then as we go into the active GSBR residential listings, this week we are at 1,376. We dropped 3 from last year, or last week, excuse me. This time last year, we were at 1,100. In 2022, we were at 610 listings that we had in active as we go through. This is so cool to see. Mike posts this every Monday. If you don't look at this, please do. And it's really nice that he's been able to track this since, well, 2015. If you know Mike, he has paper trails everywhere. But this is really great to see as, okay, 1376, where were we at in 2019? 1866. So still increasing towards that 2019 inventory, yet we had a little bit of a drop. Anything else you want to add?
No, it's just interesting, right? Because we didn't have inventory here. Are we still in a seller's market?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we still are, but we have so much more inventory, right? And then with the interest rates doing what they're doing and all of that, it's just a great time to be a seller and a buyer. So find those people in your pipeline and start pushing the urgency of, is it a good time to sell? Is it a good time to buy?
Okay, calendar. So what do we have going on this week?
Well, we are, what is today? Okay, here we are. Team meeting, so thanks for being here today. We appreciate that. And at noon, we have Ignite with Maria Galgano. We're talking lead generation. So huge topic. It is the foundation of your business. So if you're not signed up for Ignite, but you are still interested to see what she has to say or be in a room with other individuals that are learning that same concept, show up today. Show up or get on the Zoom. Just come. It's going to be good stuff. So we have Ignite for the rest of this week. Tomorrow we have Susan and Austin's luxury home tour at 10 a.m. You guys might want to carpool. So you might want to meet here early, 9:30 or so.
They're
Get in your
asking
cars.
everybody to carpool because of the parking and where the house is. It's out on East Cherry. If you go to the Facebook page, address is there. There'll be breakfasts there as well. But they encourage carpooling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Definitely. Oh, and then we have our Nixon Mastermind at 4 p.m. on Thursday.
And it's more of a happy hour, so if you don't know, we have a Nixa location. So we would love for you to go be a part of that, see the location and just intermingle with everybody. If you have vendor partners as well, maybe you want to invite them to come be a part of it. We'll have that, and Nicole, I believe there is a sign up for that somewhere that we can share as well. Admin mastermind for my operations people will meet this Thursday. Wealth buildings on Friday. Those have been really fun and really great conversations that we have seen happen. Actually, I've had some people reach out after those conversations saying, hey, I've talked about this. I want to get into action. How do I do it? It's the best way. Show up and let's start those
And
conversations.
the wealth building's not Zoomed. They have to be in person, right?
Well, we watch the recorded from the 7:30 and then we have a conversation.
But you don't Zoom it.
Yes, we do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. But you should be in person anyways. It's just way better.
Today, we will talk about family reunion, what to know, what to expect, and meet our ALC. Next week is the big meeting where Mike has had the Ozarks Transportation will come here and talk about all the road changes that they're thinking about. So this is a great meeting to come, so you can help better inform your clients of future changes. Vision Breakfast will be February
February
6th. Last year, this was packed. Talk about a recap of 2023, where we're gonna go in 2024. And then, as you can see, Valentine's Day coming up, family reunion ahas after we come back. And then Mike's favorite one is lessons from a Super Bowl champ, where Grant Wistrom, who's an agent out of our office, comes and talks to us about the lessons he learned.
Very cool.
Cool.
Ew,
Oh,
more
no.
news.
There's a lot of y'all still not renewed.
Yeah, tons of
You will be getting a call from us.
If you haven't.
260 to be exact. So
That's
don't
a lot.
forget, January 31st is the last day to pay your GSBR dues before you get a $50 late fee. Then once you get the $50 late fee, that's bummer, that's terrible. And then by the 29th of February, if you don't renew, we unfortunately have to send your license back to the state.
And you even get an extra day.
Yeah,
This
it's true.
year.
They're so generous.
And then who's gonna be our top listing agent?
Jim Bolin.
Yes.
Yes, he's ready for it. Let's go.
Redo.
Please get renewed. Try to save yourself the $50 late fee if you can avoid it. And then February 29th, unfortunately, it's the board's rule, not ours. They charge us for everybody that does not renew if we don't send your license back. So that's a pretty hefty bill that we would have to incur. So, okay. Here's a.
Don't forget
breakdown
the
in
board's
case you have questions.
dues are due.
Mark your calendars, Vision Breakfast, 9 a.m. So Monica Reynolds is coming to Springfield, the MREO boot camp. So this is the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, or excuse me, Operations Boot Camp. Her and Monica Keltz will be co-teaching this. This is the first time they're bringing the class on the road. This is going to open up to any market center in KW. So I have been talking to Joplin, Branson, Kansas City, St. Louis to have their operations people come and be a part of this. You'll get a binder about this thick of scripts, of trackers, of playbooks. Yeah, I think there's like 30 some playbooks, I believe you get out of this whole book, and she'll cover every single one. And then if you are an agent and have an operations person, I also encourage you to come. So there is a price baked for that. Or if you're just an agent and you want to come and learn some of the tools and playbooks, we'd love to have you.
And if you've never heard Monica Reynolds speak, she is something else. She is very direct to the point and commands a room.
Monica
So-
is the one that created the perfect real estate assistant class that is huge among KW, and now the operations boot camp. This is the first time they are bringing it outside of Austin, Texas. So super
Very,
excited
very
for that
cool event.
opportunity. Family reunion.
Woo!
Okay,
Family.
top 4 reasons to attend family reunion. Number 1, it's the largest training and networking event in the real estate industry. Over 15,000 people will be attending. Number 2, Shan, who do we get to see?
We've got the Robins.
Robins.
The Robins. We've got Mel Robbins and Tony Robbins, and then not a Robin, but Gary Keller as our speakers.
And he's good.
He's great. I love listening to Gary Keller. Mel Robbins, this is the only event that she's booked this year. I know we say that over and over, but that's a really big deal that she has partnered with KW to do the one and only event for 2024.
And that's a great point, Shan. And we had this conversation today on our leadership team. We say this every week because we also know there's new faces here every week. So just when we say it last week, we can't assume that everybody in here knows this information. So that's why if you come every week and you're one of our tried and true, thank you. And we are going to say it every week.
Every week.
I recently got caught in an incident where I missed one meeting and I started getting this text to like start recording my appointment numbers. Didn't know what it was for. I thought it was spam, never clicked on it. Apparently I ended up on some naughty list. You know me, I don't want to be in trouble. So then it was like this emotional turmoil. So that's why we say it every week, because we know everybody is.
We would hate for you to have emotional turmoil of
Like,
not knowing
how did
this
I
is
not
our
know
only
this?
event this year.
Yep, happens. So Number three.
Number 3.
Explore the latest command updates in person. We do have an exciting command update that Nicole will touch on here in a little bit when we get to that. And lastly, it's in Vegas.
Vegas.
I've never been. I'm very scared.
I'm scared. I've been and I'm scared.
Rachel?
It's a long time in Las Vegas.
You can just stay in the hotel. You don't even have to
It's
leave.
just a lot of overstimulation, I can already imagine.
It's the people in the ding, 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 ding.
We're luckily gonna go out earlier, Trace family was out there, so maybe I feel a little bit acclimated, but, and then I got forced to run a 5K.
Force is a strong word.
I didn't sign up, I got signed up. So if you are also going to Vegas and you would like to run a 5K on the strip at night with us, you're more than welcome. I believe Maria is also gonna be a part of it as well, so. The rock and roll, yes, whoever said that.
You should definitely do it.
Are you going to Vegas?
No, I'm going to Portugal.
Oh, okay, well, maybe next year. Yeah, so if you'd like to run at a 5K,
Let us
we'll
know.
be there.
I'd be
I
glad
don't
to
run.
register you.
I don't.
It'll be great.
Yeah, Shanna will be chasing me. That's how we'll get through it. Mike has some potential flight opportunities on the schedule. I did hear the cultural summit this year. Mo has not been running it the last 2 years. She is now stepping back in to run this cultural summit at 89 years old. So that is a change that they have toward the agenda this week or this year. House of Blues, if you're a MAPS client, we do have our House of Blues mastery event. The theme is Roaring Twenties. So if you're going to attend, DJ Warren Peaks will be there.
I'm working on my
Elise
flapper
in a
outfit.
feather hat.
Come on, you can
Yeah,
do the
flapper.
twist.
Yeah, flapper. Ooh,
But it's,
I'm
I'm my fake flapper outfit. It's what I'm-
Nicole, tell us, what do we need to know from your side of things?
Yes, so remember 2024 is a continue, can you hear me?
Oh, we can hear you.
Okay, great. It's pretty rare if you say you can't, but so 2024 is a continuing education and license renewal year. We talked about it last week. We have a code. This information is pinned at the top of the internal page. You will also all be getting an email this week. Just a note, Code of Ethics has not been updated on CE Cheap's website just yet. I found this out yesterday. It will be updated in the next couple of weeks. So I know a lot of people probably got started yesterday because it was just, ice day, but just so you know, you can't pick your Code of Ethics yet until they put it up there. So if you want to wait a couple weeks, go ahead. But remember, brokers, it's June 30th, 2024, and then salesperson renewals is due by the September 20th. September 30th.
Cool, thank you. How sweet of her to assume that we already started on CE.
That was nice.
Yeah.
I
It's
didn't.
September 30th and June
anybody?
30th. We got time,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, the one.
Overachiever.
Yeah.
Okay, Nicole, what is the important updates command we need to know about?
Yes. So if you have been doing your lead generation and adding people's smart plans within the last week, you've noticed that there's a new interface, which is so much easier to use. You also have time of day windows and time zone settings that you can use that put you more in control. So really exciting stuff. I am teaching a workshop on Thursday at 10 a.m. down in the training center that is talking about these new updates and also how you can use it for your lead generation, especially since that's what we're learning from Ignite this week. So wanted to make sure you all are invited to that workshop this Thursday. And then I am teaching a class on this on February 20th because we had to wait till Ignite was over. So just so you know, it is on there as well. I'm going to put a link in the chat too. There is online training from the KWU enablement team. They do a lot of great training for you as well. So I'm going to put that in there. You can find it through your command, but you can sign up for those. They're awesome. They tell you all the tricks and ins and outs, and that's who I learned from. So you can learn from them too.
But it's interesting, and they say the time zone settings. We're fortunate because Austin, Texas is still in our same time zone. For a lot of other market centers on the coast, when it gets sent out, it may be way early or way late for them, depending on. So Hawaii, I have a coaching client in Hawaii who's 5-hour time difference. So when they get it sent out Central Time, then it's completely different for them. So it's really nice that they've been able to update that. And when you'd like to send these messages out, normally it's 9 a.m. Now you get to pick. So thanks, Nicole. Realtor Weekly, you get this every Sunday. Please make sure you're checking your email. So here's the Empowerment Advisory Team. I haven't heard of that.
I never
It's
heard
the inclusion.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Just changing the words now.
Is
What are you doing?
hosting
I'm
a
not
lunch
chair
and sip
anymore.
event. Okay. Lunch and sip event. There is a gala masterclass. Ooh, Elise is also going to be hosting that. Sup? Yep. Okay, great. There we go. Here's some upcoming events on your weekly email. We're gonna go through this, oh no, what did I do?
Oh,
I think I hit it.
no. Oh, MLS
Oh, there it is.
101.
Okay,
Oh, you
Yep,
broke
sorry.
everything.
okay, yep, MLS 101, that's where I break it. The one that Rachel breaks the team meetings.
Hey, Rachel, are we
Yes.
gonna talk, I think you skipped a slide about the GSBOR Code of Ethics. We would love to talk about that real quick.
Okay, great, go ahead.
Okay, so GSBOR is offering a Code of Ethics certification. So it includes your 3 hours of Code of Ethics CE. Plus there are 6 sessions over the next 6 months, and then they'll be repeated the following 6 months. So if you miss one, you have the opportunity to make it up. But those will be workshops where we dive a little deeper into the actual articles to learn more and do kind of like case studies, scenarios. But at the end, you have a certification that is given to you by the board. And Cassie and I are gonna be doing the class. And the Wednesdays after, we'll be leading at coaching for anyone to attend kind of a talk and an overview of what was shared. But we would love for people to do it with us.
So that's
The
the
first
first
one-
Thursday.
The first one is this Thursday.
This Thursday, and then next week, Wednesday, group coaching, they will kind of go through some of that.
So we would love for people to do it with us. If you can't do it with us, come and hear what was shared.
Cool, good stuff. Thank you.
And just a reminder that it is a Code of Ethics renewal year as well, outside of your CE. So previously, the core has been Code of Ethics, it's now Fair Housing. And then Code of Ethics is every 3 years, so this is also a Code of Ethics renewal year, so you need to knock that out as well. That's by December 31st.
Friends, are you following that? I just want to make
15
sure.
15 hours.
Yeah, it's no longer the 12. It's Code of Ethics on top of the rest of it.
Okay, MLS 101, specialty awards for the board by February 2nd. All this is in your weekly email. Okay, great. Get it too. Woo!
Here we go.
Our job is always to get through this as quick as possible.
Okay,
Now for the content.
here we go.
Okay, so first off, this is our new 2024 Associate Leadership Council. Adam Grady, Chris Locke, Trey Watson, Stacy Lyons, Amanda Huff, Paulina Nybar, Maria Galgano, Blake Cook, Drew Beatty, Carrie Tennis, Denise Knight, and Susan Heron. So each of these are running a specific community or committee, whatever you'd like to call them within your, sometimes I like to say community because people think committee means work, you know, it's just a nice little curve.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. And so I'm very excited for this. This year we have grown, and we're taking a different approach this year to the ALC. So you may ask, what is the ALC? The ALC is a group of these are top 10% of our agents that have committed to joining us once a month to talk about, one, their business, but also the market center. So anytime that we roll out something new or a new policy change, we always bring it to the ALC first. So when Gary started Keller Williams, he had 4 or 5 of his agents leave and go to RE/MAX. And when he asked them, what would you need to do, or what do I need to do as a leader to bring you back? The first one said they want a portion of the profits. That's where profit share came from. The second one is they want to have a voice in what is happening, and that's where the ALC is formed. And so a lot of the times we come to our ALC because as market center leaders, we know that our thought process is not always the right way. And so we want to hear the different opinions of everybody to have a collaborative environment. We also know that if we get their buy-in, they are also the conversations, because a lot of maybe side conversations happen between agent to agent and not agent to market center leadership. And so this allows that open communication and dialogue within it. So each of them have their own separate committee. If you'd like to get involved, please reach out to them. All of them are listed here. And we meet once a month at 9 a.m. on a Thursday. It'll be on the training calendar. You're more than welcome to come, sit in the back, join, listen. You cannot speak, however, in that meeting, you can hear these conversations. Last month, we had Stephen Gens, who is a CPA, come and talk about P&Ls.
I have a P&L now. That's so cool.
See? Yeah, right? Me and all of our ALC members are committing to having a P&L and using their P&L. Because at the end of the day, units, volume, GCI does not matter if you're not making money, right? We can say I sold 20 million in volume, but how much money did I actually take home?
It's that theory of you're losing so slow that you think you're winning.
Yeah, for sure. Had my best year yet, but I made $0. Good, right? So our goal is to empower our agents to have a P&L to operate and live, so it doesn't have to be this scary thing when we talk about money. Our goal is for you to stay in the business as long as possible and for you to be able to fund the life you want to live. And from that, we need a P&L. The biggest thing around a P&L though, is it gets a little scary of how do I categorize everything? If you look at the chart of accounts in the MREA, there could be like 20. And it's like, ooh, I don't want to do that. How do we simplify it to 8? How do we start tracking our numbers that way? So it was really cool, really educational. Feel free to join us on February when we have our next meeting. Yeah, because we've already had ours. Okay, perfect. So I know we have some ALC members in here. I would love to hear from any of you of why ALC? Why did you want to be on ALC?
I can say that I chose to be on the ALC because I wanted the accountability of a peer group that I felt high respect for and that I knew were the top in the industry. That was a big thing for me, just wanting that and being able to hear and share in that, and also be an active part of what happens here at Keller Williams.
Love that. Who else? Trey.
Kind of piggyback off of Denise, it's the same thing of always putting yourself in a room with higher minded thinkers than yourself. And that's, I think it's so cool. I feel like such a small personality when I get to sit in that room, and it's allowed me to grow so much. So that's why I'll keep doing it as long as I'm allowed to. But yeah, it's a different level of conversation. It's a different conversation altogether than is normally had, not just in the building, but in the industry as a whole. So I would encourage anybody who has not been to ALC meetings before, come and sit in on it and check it out, because it's a totally different feeling conversation than what we're used to.
Love that. Amanda, can I ask you why? So Amanda is our agent out of Lebanon. And so why are you choosing to drive to Springfield once a month to be a part of this?
Just for growth and to get my name out there more. Since I'm so far away, it sometimes feels like you're off on an island. So I want to be in the mix of all the people.
Love that. Love that. Anyone else? Yes, Drew?
Big thing for me, especially with the ALC, this is where you have a voice and an opportunity to make change happen. And whether or not you're actually an active member of the ALC or you're part of any of the committees to help enact something, that's making a change that happens right here. It starts here, it grows from here. And I mean, some of the most amazing events and opportunities that we have within this market center, and part of the reason why this market center is what it is because of the people that have served on the ALC and helped grow and create a lot of the experiences that we deal with on a daily basis and take as casual as normal. That's not normal. Most other market centers don't see what we see. And so it's cool to be a part of that group, but then also highly encourage everybody to be a part of any of the different committees that are there. Obviously, New Homes is most important.
May or may not be the one Drew's heading up.
Might be,
I guess.
potentially.
Yeah. And I think that goes back to our Y4C2Ts. So together, everyone achieves more, or win-win or no deal, success through others. We have all of those, and that's what the ALC embodies. And it starts around the conversation of having a P&L or tracking my numbers may not be something that's like what I like to do. Me, I love reconciling a bank account, but things like that. But it's flexing that muscle every single month. And it's getting you outside of your comfort zone to be in those conversations, to be vulnerable and say, I'm not doing this at a high level, and that's okay. Yet I know being in this room, it will help educate me and help me force and step into that uncomfortable zone. So that's why I think the ALC is so powerful. And we can have these conversations to where some of our ALC members say, hey, I had a very terrible month, or I'm really struggling to this. Last year, we had a whole meeting around hiring an admin. And one of our ALC members got to the point of hiring an admin based on that conversation. And so it's really not just about policies and procedures for the Market Center. It's about our agents and their businesses and how we can help empower them and inspire them to build their business to whatever level that looks like for them. Because everybody has different goals and different dreams as well. Anyone else in the ALC? Maria?
So I think for me, when I was getting licensed and interviewing brokerages, one of the biggest things for me is that I wanted somewhere that felt really warm and fuzzy. And KW is that. And I think that our Market Center does an amazing job at respecting everyone's backgrounds. And when people think about diversity, sometimes they think race, but it's not just that. Our backgrounds make us diverse and we all have something to offer. So for me, it was just giving a voice to everyone here, regardless of you know, who you are, what you look like, whatever your beliefs are. So that's really why I wanted to be on ALC. Yeah. Awesome. And as a new agent, when you hear other agents that are killing it and they're struggling, it's really humbling because you're like, okay, I'm not the only one.
Yeah, and how do you sit in a room where everyone's like, man, I am struggling right now, or I'm having this challenge? It makes it more human. And it breaks down, so part of our ALC, they follow the DTD2. So every month we give our ALC members a DTD2 list of our agents. And they call our agents every month based on that list. And some of the feedback I've had, you know, Adam, he started, this is his first month on ALC this year, and he called through his entire list and he goes, wow, that was so fun. And he got to talk to so many of our agents. And one, it takes down the stigma of, oh, Adam Grady and his team produces this much, to, hey, I'm Adam Grady, I'm an agent, I'm a rainmaker, and I'm also human. If you have any questions, come and talk to me. Like, how cool is that? And so February 15th is our next meeting, 9 a.m. down here in the training center. We would love for you to come be a part of it. And if you have interest of being a part of these committees, this is your way to get involved. The biggest thing around KW is we have the brick and mortar where we have the community. We have the collaboration. I can go and knock on Shannon's door and say, hey, help me. What do I need to do differently? And that's what happens in these walls. And so come and be a part of it. And we would love to see you there. Anyone else? No? No? Okay, cool. Off the soapbox.
Next.
Now to your part.
Family reunion. All right, who do we have? Where are our friends?
I believe we had, let's see who responded to the email. Drew, Elise, Amy, Samantha. Is there anybody else?
Anybody else that we reached out to and said,
Ashlyn, come on up. And
I'll get one more chair.
Sorry, I can stand.
Okay.
you wanna come up here, Ashlyn?
But I'll talk if you want me to.
Of course, in the city.
And if you have things to say, you can just say them also from your seats.
Yeah, because we know there's more family reunioners out there. Hi.
Hi.
How are we?
Good.
Thanks for being here today.
I was told to be here.
I so appreciate you being volunteer.
Volunteer,
sure
and you said I'll be there, or maybe Bethany said.
I was gonna say,
I'll be there.
Bethany probably volunteered.
Bethany Boster, she volunteered. I love it. Okay.
Shanna, tell us, what is family reunion?
What is family reunion? It's a big old party, and this year it's in Las Vegas, right? It's one of the biggest events that we do, and we see people from everywhere. There's over 15,000 people in attendance. We get amazing keynote speakers, and we get the top of the top coming and showing up and explaining how they do what they do, right? And so that we can walk away being better. There's literally something for everyone, whether you're a coach, whether you're an admin, whether you're a single agent, a mega agent, a rainmaker, what have you. And there's a lot of personal things you take away from it. And I'll share one of my things when we're done with this panel that I took away from last year. Okay, so. How many times? I think it's a dog. I think it's a dog. I don't know.
Millie's having him.
All right, so we've got 5 different people up here. Raise your hand if last year was the first time you went to a family reunion.
Oh,
All right, so last year was their first year at it. Elise, how many times have you been? 3. 3 times. Is it the same every time?
No, not even close.
Not even close.
No, it's overwhelming each time.
Overwhelming. Okay, so I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
The rest of you guys, friends, it was probably overwhelming for you your first time as well, right? So let's sit there for just a second, because I hear that a lot, that it's overwhelming. 15,000 people, all this stuff going on. Busy, slot machines, all the things. So let's start with you. Overwhelming. How'd you get through that?
Going in with a plan, having an itinerary and looking and prioritizing what event or like breakout session, and I've even planned it to where I try and plan where I'm going to sit. So that way I just wake up, get coffee, get food and go. So that way it's a lot easier for me nowadays. Because most of the time when I'm there, I've already been there before family reunion starts because I'm involved in another group. So I'm usually there for 2 days prior So, and I'm already like, oh, God, now we gotta start this.
Now the main event.
Now the main event is here.
Main event, the main event, the main event, yeah,
Well,
okay.
so, yeah.
I think that's important what Elise said. She has a plan. So events.kw.com, you can go through and see the entire breakout agenda of what's happening. I'm strongly encouraged to go through and say, here's my ideal classes, here's my backup classes, because sometimes they are filled that you have to have a backup. So she has a plan before she attends.
Can I say something about
Yes,
that?
yes.
So I was listening to Craig Rochelle this morning. He has like a series on leadership. And one of the main things that a leader does is they pre-decide. So they don't have to make those decisions in the moment. So that's, you know, what Elise did. And even pre-deciding what's your backup plan.
Yeah, no, so I go through and I put every single thing on my calendar of which classes I'm gonna go to. And then there's a second event on another calendar, because I'm a psycho, and that's got my backups on it. So love that. So you plan, you have a
Yes.
plan and you execute your plan.
And the Family Reunion app, KW has an app, really, really beneficial to download it. I was like, I'm not downloading another app. And then I checked it out. I was like, well, I'll look at it, because then I just deleted it right away. But it's the KW Events app, and you can go in and select the blocks that you want to go. And
You get push notifications.
You get push
Awesome.
notifications, you get notified. If there has been, one time there was a room change, and so I was notified of it before, and I had to go from one, it was like an airport, we were like, oh, changing the gate.
It
Cause you don't wanna
literally
miss it.
is.
Yeah, cause there are some really heavy hitting names that teach these breakout sessions. And so if you think we're lucky where we're at because of who we have here at our market center, but we also can learn from some really amazing people from some incredible cities, incredible different places for different perspectives too.
Absolutely.
The app is called KW Events. It's normally gets updated as we get closer to the event. So it's probably still has last year's information or mega camp information right now.
Yeah, and it'll have your map of your area. It has everything. They know what they're doing over there at events. Amy, what made you want to go this past year for the first time?
Well, Maria and I decided to go very, very, very last minute, like maybe like a week before or something.
I may recall that.
We had just partnered and we had hired an admin, but we were also kind of like, oh my God, now what are we doing? We didn't have a plan together. We had our own plans, but we didn't have a together plan. So I think we felt like it would be an opportunity for us to go and get a bigger vision that we could create together.
Love that. Love that. Sam and Ashlyn, you two came from somewhere else. You weren't even members of Keller Williams.
Yeah, we
Tell
were
us
guests.
about that experience as a guest.
Oh, well, it was very overwhelming.
Yeah.
Exactly, especially being an agent that's not a part of Keller Williams at the time. I was like, should I be here? Like, is this okay? Like,
Are they gonna make me drink Kool-Aid?
Right, yes,
We did. Date of birth.
Here I am sitting up here now, but no, it was definitely an eye-opening experience just of the culture that KW has, all of the different agents that you get to meet. It was very eye-opening to see how small of a perspective where we were currently operating under. There is a huge bigger picture out there, and oftentimes whenever you are interviewing different brokerages, you don't get to see that upon that first impression. So this was definitely a game changer for me in my business, which is why I'm here. So yeah, that was my experience.
I think it's a great point of like, how many times when we're looking at our business, are we like hitting our head against the wall saying, is there a better way to do this? Like, is the way I'm doing it the right way, the most efficient way? And this allows you to see a whole different perspective.
Yes.
And that's one of the value pieces of going to a regional event that we have or a national event is one, you never know what people are doing. You hear somebody that has a town of 5,000 people that has 80% market share and they built that market share just off events. And you're thinking 5,000 people, how big is Springfield? And how could I not take that and do that in Springfield too? So I think it just opens your mind to the possibilities of how do you remove those limiting beliefs saying, no, that can't be done, that can't be done. That's how our agents have been able to build these businesses because they heard that and they said, I hear it can be done and I'm gonna do it here. Love that.
Sam.
Well, she basically took everything that I was gonna say.
Let's be prepped ahead of time. Ashley just went off the rails.
No, but one of the things, and I've said this to several people, so you may have heard me say this before, but because of that event, I went from selling real estate to actually building a business.
Oh, I love it.
So it's not, it was huge. It was eye-opening for me just to be like, wow, like all I've been like really focused on is how to get the next lead, not wealth building or what to do outside of real estate. What do you do with that money that you make? What do you do with that money in your business that you
Or-
make?
What are your numbers?
Yes.
Like that
Yeah,
was
that was
something
nothing
that
that
was
we ever did.
never discussed. This, I mean, that was a whole new experience
We
for us
were,
too.
yeah, we were,
like,
when we got
what?
asked, we were like, I have no idea. We sold how many? Let me go back and look. Let me look through my records and see. It was never like keeping track of anything. So it's definitely been a huge, I don't know, just a boost for us.
I can say that I think she and I, since it's almost been a year since we came back, we almost doubled our sales.
Yeah.
With the tools that we got just in
That's
that
amazing.
4 days
That's amazing.
of family reunion.
Yeah.
So if somebody were to want to bring a guest to family reunion, what would your advice be to an agent bringing in a guest from an outside brokerage?
Don't feel like you have to do it all. I think that's where we got like super overwhelmed and we just wanted to make sure that we hit everything because to us, it was a free opportunity of training that we were not getting. But I think this time we talked about like just planning it out a little bit better instead of
Yeah.
feeling like we have to be everywhere and just taking our time with it, because it is a lot of
Yeah.
information.
That's a great point. If you're there, it's okay to say, I need to have a moment to myself for a little bit. I need to go take what I just learned and get it into action or create my action plan off of it. So go back to the hotel room, go grab coffee. You don't have to be there to everything. Totally okay. But how could you find someone to go to an event and say, hey, if you're gonna go to this breakout, can I get your notes? Because I'm gonna go work on this. Can I get your notes from this session?
Or make a plan with someone before, like Maria and I decided to divide and conquer, so we
Yeah.
had certain
Yeah.
things we together wanted to learn about, but you could do that with somebody who's not your
Yeah.
teammate too.
Mike's notes.net. His name's Mike Hillary. He's a regional tech trainer out of the Mid-American region. He actually makes shirts and everything. He does free notes of all family reunions. So all the sessions he goes to, Mike's notes.net, any event he goes to, you can access all of his notes.
It's in the chat.
Yeah.
It's in the chat. Drew,
Yes.
what was your experience like this year? It was your first year.
Yes, this first year, it was a little overwhelming, but it was exciting all at the same time. So, while it is a fantastic networking opportunity, just the breakout sessions that are there, the different people you can hear from, it's not just other fantastic agents who do amazing things. It's people within different industries that are giving you key insight onto things that maybe you hadn't thought of. The opportunity to learn and engage in something that is going to drive your business, much like, you guys have already seen the success from, it's there. And now, you don't just show up and then all of a sudden walk away and you're doubling your business, right?
Didn't know
But
that.
it's giving you the opportunity to absorb a completely new thought. And there's so many things. And so if you don't go in with a plan, it can hurt you. But it really, they do everything they can to try to help you make a plan on the way. So, man, it was just awesome. I had a blast. So that's why I'm going again.
So you all are going again, correct? That's what I thought. That's why you're here. What? Sorry. What's your plan this year? Let's start with you, Elise.
Go plan.
You act like you're on top.
Yeah,
Bethany,
yeah.
what's her plan?
What's her plan, Bethany?
Hi, tell me please. No, are you going this year? No, okay.
No, not this year. So okay, I actually wanted to touch, because you said networking and I hadn't thought about that. I'm in MAPS coaching, so I get a ticket to go to this. And I know that it's an expense, but every single time I leave with referrals. And I connect so deeply within the communities that I've built that I'm not going to part of what I typically will go to. And so, I've had a lot of people reach out to me and they say, we can't believe I'm not going to see you at this one thing. Have you lost your mind? And I'm like, budgets, hey. And also it's hard to spend that kind of time away from my family for so long. I actually really enjoy spending time with my kids. So I want to see them, but I also want to see these people. And so I came up with a plan which odd. I suggested that we all go see a show together. And so we're all seeing Absinthe, which is a really incredible show, if you're into that kind of thing. If you don't know what the show is, you can Google it and figure it out for yourself. I'm not gonna explain it. That's good, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Rachel would love it.
Rachel, no, okay. So it's a really great interactive show as long as you don't sit in the front, but there's a lot of people that I wanna go and see. That's where I would put you.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun to see the people that I've seen. I see these people twice a year with Mega Camp and Family Reunion. And so when I think of cost, I don't necessarily always consider cost because I've probably had just since Mega Camp, I've had, I think, 1 or 2 referrals. That's actually 2 referrals in Kansas City that I've sent out and I've gotten paid for. The amount that I get with my referrals, I make up and I almost profit by going to these events. It doesn't make sense. It's not good for my business to not go.
So since you're on that subject, would you say that instead of a cost, it's more of an investment?
Absolutely. It starts out as an investment and then I get a return from it because the people that I'm building the relationships with, I'm building them deeply and I'm constantly having those conversations. Part of my DTD2 is calling these agents from all across the country.
Yeah.
And so when something happens, they're the ones that are recommending me in these groups too. So it's kind of nice to have a little fan club, which is cool.
Yeah.
So when we talk about Mets and unmets out of the MREA, Mets are people we know, they know us, we know, like, trust, all that. Unmets, there's 2 sides of unmets. One is the targeted unmets. And this is exactly what you can do going into Family Reunion is have a targeted unmet list. And what I mean by that is go to command and go into the referrals tab. Look at all the referrals that are coming into Springfield, where are they coming from, and all the referrals that are outgoing and where are they going to. Identify those locations, put that on a list, and those are the people you're going to find at Family Reunion to build your referral network. That's your plan right there. How could you go meet all the people with your connections in Family Reunion, say, hey, I'm looking for somebody in Kansas City. I need to find 3 agents within Kansas City or something. Go out and have a strategic plan of how you can build that targeted unmet list.
Yeah, it's been really nice. We have about 30 people that are going to that show and these are all people that we'll have dinner with, we'll have drinks and then we'll go to the show and then we'll kind of do a wind down afterwards. And so it's not like I'm going to miss any of that opportunity. I'm gonna still see these people. And it's really nice because these are people that we like to see each other. We like to have like that constant conversation because we're invested in each other's business too. And so we really want to see each other succeed and make sure that we do and make sure that when we get referrals, we give them to them.
Love that. That's fantastic. Who else has a plan that they'd like to share?
Denise, do you have a question?
I was just gonna say something fun too about being in Vegas with 15,000 KW agents. It doesn't matter where you go, there's always gonna be Keller Williams agents. So, cause it's like you own the town there for those few days.
I wear my badge the whole time.
Right, you'll see it everywhere. And so it's a great way to just spark up a conversation with someone in an elevator or in a lunch line. They're almost all KW people.
So I did that. The first time I went to Family Reunion, it was my first time going to like a major event. And so I went to the most expensive restaurant when they had a community table, but it was like a community table of like 6. And so like, it was 5 other seats that were available. And this was a reservation only, unless you got there early enough to get at the community table. So I made sure I got there. I wanted the good food too, but I also wanted to make sure that people had to sit with me. And so that way I could talk to them and I had probably some of the most incredible conversations I've ever had business-wise. So.
Create a digital business card, QR code, link tree, whatever you like, save it as your screensaver. So when someone says, hey, I want to network, great, here you go. They can just take your screensaver, take a picture of it, and that's how you can easily share it. You don't have to take cards, super digital, helps that way. Yes, Maria?
The KW Command app has your digital business card.
Your command app does too. And so if you take it, just make it as your screen lock. Just do it. That's the easiest way. So you don't have to fumble around. It's just right here. People can take a picture and go from there.
Let me go back.
This year, Amy, what's your plan this year?
So Maria and I have, we kind of like each have our own plan and we also have a team plan. So this year, our team plan is we're taking Bree with us because we want her to have the vision too, so that we can create something, the 3 of us together, and then kind of figure out how we're moving forward. I know Maria wants to do a lot of networking and I really want to focus on skills because I feel like the first 5 years of my business, I focused a lot on leads, how to generate leads. Now I want to get really good at what I do.
Love that. True. What are your thoughts on this?
Biggest thing I could say that you want to focus on is the follow-up, the conversations. You know, we talk about the ALC being a fantastic place to sit and talk about the things that impact you and how to propel forward, and that's where it starts. you literally spend an entire day listening to people just kind of give you massive amounts of information, sitting down and kind of just going through. I know Blake and I literally almost every night would just sit down and just run through everything over a few glasses of whiskey. And it was awesome because we were able to kind of like hit on the things that would impact him in a different way than it would me, but then we're also able to kind of like spearhead some of those conversations. It's not just the notes that you took, it's recapping that and understanding what it was that you just actually went through, because it gets really easy to take notes. And it gets really easy to just hit this one to this one to this one. Oh, that was awesome. It was great. It was inspiring, but it's only as inspiring as much as you do with it. And so taking action from that. So for me, it's just, getting out there and getting those communications. I get to double up because I've got the International Builder Show is the exact same week. So I'm going to go from KW to International Builder Show. And I've got the opportunity to not just sit in with some of the best minds within real estate, but then also step into some of the best minds within, production builders. And so I get to really like delve in. It's going to be a heavy week for me. And so like that recap at the end of the night is critical to be able to say, okay, what did I take from this? How am I going to do something with it?
Yeah, I love that. Huge.
I was
no.
gonna say, it's not even at the end of the night, because we ended up creating a coffee group after our
Yeah.
family
Yeah.
reunion, and we all met up at least once a month.
Which I
and
still would like to do.
I know we
that.
need to continue to do that. We just all got busy, but it's so much information that you have to have time to, and it is nice to get together with other people that went, that are like-minded, to kind of digest all of that.
Well, because you
information.
can't do everything,
Yeah.
because I was there for a lot of those conversations. I was drinking Prosecco. They were. But it was a great opportunity to hear what the classes they had gone to, the things that they learned, to get to read my notes to them. So it kind of solidified it more in my own mind. So I mean, I think it's really good to make sure that every night you're meeting with other agents who did something different than you did.
How many of us can say, I go to a training here locally, after the training, I'm in the car running to my next thing, running to an appointment, running to go home, pick up kids, all of that. When you go to, right, all of us, for me, it's letting the dogs out. And so, cause they're at 11 years old and still can't know how to open up the door. And when we're at events like this, it causes us to slow down. It causes us to sit back, relax, have conversations, and where you can mastermind over these things. And you can hear the ahas of, oh, I heard it this way. Oh, I heard it this way. Oh, that's genius. And just like all of them have said, go in with a plan. What is your one intention? Is it to learn is it networking? Is it getting more business? Is it getting more systems down? Maybe it's just going there to just see, what do I not know that's being talked about? Maybe you just need your bucket filled. You need your cup filled. You need a little bit more motivation. It's been hard the last couple of years and you're excited to hear Mel and Tony speak. Whatever it may be, write it down and go with that intention. And everything else you hear is so great, and you can have a smart notebook and a smart bookshelf later. But what is that one action item you're going to take and implement into your business?
It's a great segue into, just like anything KW, it's gonna affect you personally and professionally, right? So my big takeaway from last year was I heard Gary Keller say, buy real estate. Okay, how many times do we think we've heard him say that? A million times, right? It's always a good time to buy the right property. I heard it for the first time in my heart, and I went out, and a month later I bought my first investment property. Okay, so for me, I went from being in the business to actually building a business. So you can hear it over and over, but the right time, the right message, the right open heart, and you're going to hear it differently. I did whatever I could to make it happen when I came home. I mean, I had a fire in my belly and I was not scared anymore. And I was like, Jeff, husband, you're going to get on board and this is what we're going to do. And he fought me all the way until we closed. And he's like, all right, when's our next one? So,
We're under contract on your next
we're under
one.
contract on our next one. So, family reunion last year. And that was not my first family reunion. And I have picked up something different every single year. And I think you all could say the exact same thing. Maybe you didn't go buy an investment property when you came home, but you had a fire in your belly about something, right?
It's really difficult to come back after being in that environment for so long and then come here and not implement anything that you just learned, not to mention 6 months, from the event, you can flip back through your notes and relearn something all over again that you should implement. And
Love that.
And sometimes the biggest things, the biggest changes to your business is actually just doing a small tweak to your routine.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that you're gonna come back and you're gonna be the #1 agent at your market center. That's not what it's about. It's about making and building better habits every single day.
It's the click.
Right.
Something clicks,
Well,
yeah.
like just what you said, when something clicks and that activity changes, like one of the things that I was like, well, it's cheating to call these agents to be a part of my lead generation. That's not true. Now I'm their person that they're going to call. That is lead generation. And it's an easy one because it's like, oh, I get to call the people I'm friends with. These are friends, you know? And so it's like you take something, you can take a little nugget, implement it, and then take something else, implement it. I'm saying this and Bethany's looking at me like, don't you dare come back with a million ideas. And
She's already overwhelmed.
Don't let her sign up for anything.
I'll get an idea and I'll be like, right now.
And that's another good point. Don't get lost in the vendor hall.
Yeah.
Do not get lost in the vendor hall. They have these contests you can go and if you see every vendor, you get entered into. No. We don't need that. We don't need to add any more expenses into our business. We don't need to sign up for all these flashy programs. We just need to have conversations and learn.
Yeah. Were you gonna say something? I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Maria
raised her hand.
Oh, so I was just saying about like, it's really hard coming back and not implementing that. So Amy and I were actually going back and forth on taking Bree because budget. But at the same time, the more we talked about it, the more we realized that it was gonna be so hard for us to communicate that fire to her without having experienced it. So if you have an admin, or even if you have thought about going and just don't know if you should, just talk to someone. I assure you that you'll come back with something and it's gonna be worth it.
Yeah. Okay, let's wrap it up. Final thoughts.
Yeah, I say one thing. So you are gonna come back with all these things and just remember that's gonna be overwhelming too. You're gonna come back with all these ideas and all these things that you wanna do. Perhaps be like on the plane ride home, make a list of the order in which you wanna implement them. And just do one thing at a time so that it's not so overwhelming.
Yeah, plane ride is my digestion time. Yeah, we'll just go down the line. Sam, final thoughts.
I'm excited.
Yep. Okay, Ashley, Ashley?
Oh, wait, I'm good.
Yeah, no, I'm.
She's ready.
also excited. I'm excited. We're ready to go.
Final thoughts for the crowd.
Wear good walking shoes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Don't try and get fancy
Don't be
and
cute.
wear some cute ass shoes. You're
Nobody's gonna remember what
Nobody's
you
gonna remember
wore.
it, and
They
you are
don't
gonna
care.
be very upset with yourself later.
Yeah, you don't need a whole new wardrobe to go to family.
Don't do it.
Dress professional and comfy and, or
say, I
follow
saw
my.
a
KW
range
t-shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Outfits.
Or
There was
just-
a range.
yeah. Drew.
If you're not thinking about going, or if you think, no, it's not worth it, just go.
Yeah,
That's
It is worth it.
all I'm gonna say. It literally is one of those things I was like, all right, I'll do this thing. And it was absolutely impactful. I thought it was one of the best things I've been to and will continue to do so.
Awesome.
Also
if
know what
anybody-
the
oh,
weather's
sorry.
like, sorry,
Yeah.
just know what the weather's like there,
Yeah,
and then be aware of what the weather's like on your way
cause
back.
you never,
Oh,
it
yeah.
actually has snowed in Vegas
Yeah.
at that time.
No, I was just gonna say, if you have a guest and they have questions, don't hesitate to send them to
Yeah.
Ashlyn or I, cause we've
For
been there,
sure.
done that, so.
And if you have any questions about family reunion or financial, come talk to Landon or myself and we'd be happy to talk with you about the different options. So we'll pay you all for your responses.
In
Just
high five, just
kidding.
kidding. Denise, you had
Can I
something?
ask one question to Ashlyn and, what was your name? Ashlyn, you're Ashlyn and you're.
Samantha, yeah.
Okay. When Keller Williams agent invited you to family reunion, what was your first response and what was it that made you decide to go?
I was like, oh my God, I'm getting recruited again.
I know.
Uh,
Honest, that is what it
this
was.
really worth, like, am I gonna have to, I mean, the first thought was a little daunting, but that's part because of what was already kind of instilled in our brains about KW, so I don't think that was all entirely, I think it'll be a different situation on different.
But then it
people.
was a hey, free trip.
But
Vegas.
when we
Yeah.
got there, it did not feel pressury.
No.
I don't think, everyone was so friendly. I mean,
Yes.
we
Yeah, welcoming.
built a lot
Yeah.
of friendships even before switching over. So once your guest arrives, you just don't feel recruited. It feels like you're a part of the family, and that's kind of what
Don't have time to
gravitated.
recruit.
Yeah, I mean, you're just absorbing all of this information. And so to recruit, did that kind of answer your
Well,
question?
yeah, so, cause I've been inviting several people and I'm thinking it's probably more the free trip Vegas thing that.
It is, but here's the thing is once we got there, we were like, holy crap, like this is way better than what we thought it was gonna be. We just expected to go to the free trip and we even talked about maybe skipping out a couple times and going to the pool and hanging out. But then once we got into it, we were like,
That's great.
No, it's true, but you want to be honest, and I think
that's,
it
Any
felt
guest
slimy,
will
but
think
it's, once you're there, it's completely different. It's like, I'm sorry, that was just an honest.
I'm being honest. This is what we did.
And to
Yes.
tie in that perspective, it's once you know and you're exposed to this, you can't unknow.
Exactly.
And a lot of this is more of, in our conversations with guests, it's, hey, I don't care if you come to KW or not. The market has definitely changed. And you may or may not be hearing what's happening in this real estate industry, right? You have questions around the lawsuit, you have questions around listing inventory, what's gonna happen to interest rates. All of that will be addressed. And even if you were able to come back and add one more value piece into your business, that's all that matters. At the end of the day, we don't care if you become KW or not. We want to make sure that agents in our market are informed on best practices in real estate and that we're probably going to do a deal together at some point this year. And I want to make sure that you're equipped because I care about you as a person. Business aside, right? I would not be doing you a favor if I didn't extend this invite because I know how valuable it is and how life-changing it can be. Because it's not just about businesses as well. You can learn about wealth building. You can learn about hustle versus happy culture. You can learn about the balance of making sure that it's God, family, and then business, right? You can learn all of that there. And so that's part of our conversation is it's more than just real estate. It's
It's
you
a
as person.
resource. I mean,
Exactly.
ultimately, it's
Yeah.
a person to lean on, to check in. It was, it's mainly just a good resource to have. And it took me 7 months to switch over.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel pressured. I mean, I just had to kind of do it on my own terms, but I'm probably here for my career, so.
Probably.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for